So today I want to carry on the idea of featuring more of the bass players who inspire me in my videos, and I want to talk about a guy who I first saw play live, I think it was around 2004, 2005, somewhere around then. So I went to see the Joe Zawinul Syndicate. So I'm sure a lot of you know Joe Zawinul as one of the founders of Weather Report, the band that partly helped to make Jaco Pastorius famous. So Zawinul was a guy who had a legendary eye, or I suppose a legendary ear for a good bass player. So he launched the careers of a lot of really good bass players over the years. And he was playing in London with a young bass player from Mauritius who I hadn't heard of. And needless to say, this guy proceeded to completely blow me away. He is an extraordinary bass player, and his name is Linley Marthe, M-A-R-T-H-E. If you don't know Linley Marthe, then I strongly suggest checking him out. This groove that I figured out actually comes from a really long concert, which you can find on YouTube. I'll link it in the description. Really recommend checking it out. It's nearly 2 hours long, but it's really worth watching, even if you watch it in kind of small parts over a long period of time. There's so much great stuff in it, and Linley Marthe takes probably 5 or 6 solos across the whole gig. And yeah, they're just really mind-blowing stuff. So anyway, let's break down this groove. So you could use this on a G7 chord, or you could use it on a G minor 7 chord. The only notes that he's really using here are G, D and F. So he doesn't use a third, there's no B flat or B in there. So we're hitting the root note as the first note we play, the G. Now it's on a 16th note anticipation, so it's on 4E and but it's also a shuffled 16th note feel, so it's not 3E and 4E and it's 3E and 4E and So you're hitting it on that kind of shuffled 16th note anticipation before the 1. And then the next part that he plays is kind of interesting for what he does with his right hand, so it's worth really breaking this down and practicing it slowly. So you're going to mute the notes with your left hand, so mute the strings with your left hand, and then you're going to play the first string with your index finger, just as a dead note. Then you're going to do a left hand tap, and then you're going to play the second string with your first finger, and then you're going to hit the note D on the 5th fret of the 3rd string, again with the first finger. So it's first string, tap, second string, D on the 3rd string. So it's so you can turn that into a little exercise. That's the first thing that I would practice. 4E and 1E and 3E and 4E and 1E and 3E and 4E and 1E and. So that's the beginning of it. The next thing, he does something similar, but this time he's using the second finger on his right hand. So he's playing that muted first string again, and then he does that little tap again with the left hand. Now he's going to play with his index finger on his right hand. He's going to play the 5th fret, so just plucking with the index finger, F on the second string, hammer onto the G. So that's so going again from the beginning, it's 3E and 4E and 1. Okay, and you can turn that, I mean, just as a 1-bar groove, that could work on its own as well. So that would sound like this. So now moving into the second bar, so you're going to play on the very last 16th note of the first bar, you're going to play a D, and then hitting a G again on the 1. So this G is on the 5th fret of the second string, so it's 4E and 1. And that's going to be the start of a triplet that you're going to play, just raking down the strings. So you're going to play the G on the 5th fret of the second string, and then dead note on the 3rd string, dead note on the 4th string, and that's a triplet. So 4E and 1, 2, 3. So then you're going to finish off by playing this rhythm on the G. So the whole thing played slowly is something like this. 3E and 4E and.